Yeah, let's start now.
This all
Yeah. As we said on Tuesday, Monday, it's okay. Now, we talk about the conditional statements. We said that we have an conditional statements like if I am hungry, I will eat. There's a reason and conclusion. This is what we call it what? The conditional statement. And here in geometry, the same as we said, we have something we call the postulate, which is a statement that is correct, that is accepted without proof. Later on, we will come back. After algebra, we will talk about how to prove the theorems. This one is accepted without proof. Now, here we have, we talk about the counter example. We say that if we have a conditional, as I wrote a conditional statement, sometimes it's not necessary. Sometimes I live in, not in Saudi Arabia, but you don't live in Riyadh, you live in Tabuk or Jeddah or Mecca.
The other one, I think that is after that. It's not correcting the sentence. It's saying for the statement that you might be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, you will not correct it. No, it might be wrong. Yeah, exactly. Now, let's today, after we talk about the conditional statements, and after we say that we have a hypothesis and conclusion. Hypothesis means if this happens, this will happen. This is what the conditional statements. Now, we said how can we classify which is the hypothesis and which is the no, it's okay, just look at this example here. This is in your book, page 45. Now, I want you now to write the conditional statements. Use if and now, conditional statements use if and then. If and then, it means if I something, then something will happen. Which one? If it is happen, you tell me. Which one? If it is happen, the second thing will happen. If good morning. Yes, sir. If 4x plus 7 minus 15 is happen, then x minus 2 will happen, or it's equal to. Or when x is 2, then 4 of x plus 7 equals 15. Which have come first? This is equal. Okay? Which comes first? Here you have a part, and here you have another part. So you have to ask yourself then, what is the hypothesis and what is the conclusion? If 4x plus 7 equals 15, that means x is 2, or if x is 2, then 4x plus 7 equals 15. No, without solving it. It's already solved. But what comes first? You will say if x is 2, if this happens, that means 4x plus 7 will equal 15. Or if 4x plus 7 equals 15, that means x is 2. Yes, Linda?
If x equals 2, then 4x
X plus 7 equals 15. If x, the value of x is 2, then when you evaluate it here, 4 times 2 is 8 plus 7 equals 15, as we talk in algebra. If the value of x is 2, and when evaluate it here, you take 4 times 2, 8 plus 7, 15. So this will be the hypothesis, and this will be the conclusion. So you will say if x is 2, then 4x plus 7 is what? 15. If and then. The second one, today is Thursday, so tomorrow is Friday. Yes, tomorrow is a Friday. If this happened, then tomorrow will be Friday. So if today is Thursday, then tomorrow is Friday. Is it clear now? So which one is the conclusion and which one is the hypothesis? Yes. Bravo. The third one.
No, teacher, I don't think it's like this. Why you said like that? Like, why can't it be like if 4 is multiplied by 2 plus 7 equals 15, so 2 is x.
See, if you say like if 4x plus 7 equals 15, so if this happen, that's mean that's will x equal 2, or if x equal 2, that's mean 4x plus 7 equals 15. There's one that's more correct than the other. Then you have to see what is the reason and what is the conclusion.
It is always like that with all equations or only this one?
Yeah, as I told you here before. Look at the definitions here. If this happen, that means that will happen. There's a reason and there's a conclusion. The third one, number 9. The sum of two angles of two supplementary angles is 180. Yes, Tamar. No, here you have two angles. I told you that if the summation of the measures of these two angles are 180, so they are supplementary. So how it will be? If two angles are supplementary, then their measure will be 180. Where is the hypothesis?
But the last one, teacher, it can be both ways. Like then, if the sum is if the measurement is 180 degrees, it is gonna be supplementary, and also the opposite. It can be both.
No. See, sometimes here, if the sum of the measures is 180, okay, sum of what? It could be sum of 2 or 3 angles. So you have to write what is the reason and what is the conclusion. If this happens, if 2 angles are supplementary, that means their summation are 180.
Oh, okay, teacher, thank you.
But if you say that the summation of angles is 180, they may be 2, they may be 2 and 3 angles. Got it?
Yes, teacher, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Now, oh, sorry. No, I will start now. Okay. Conjecture is a statement without if and then. I told you about it at the beginning. Just a minute. Now today we're gonna learn a new 3 statements that is related to the conditional statements, which are converse, inverse, and contrapositive. We talk about the conditional statements. If something happens, then something will happen. Today now, we're gonna learn a new 3 statements that is related to it, which are converse, inverse, and contrapositive. Now, before we go to them, let's have an example of the conditional statements. Like, if a polygon has 6 sides, if this happens, that means this is an hexagon. This is an hypothesis, and this is what? A conclusion. This is what we call it conditional statement, because it has an if and then. Yeah, sometimes we call it biconditional, but this is just an example here. Now, let's start talking about the, let's start with the conditional statement first. As we said before, statements can be written if P, then the Q. Like when we say that P is the hypothesis, Q is a conclusion. Okay? Now, P is a hypothesis, Q is a conclusion. The conditional statements, it's written as if P happen, then the Q will happen. Okay? Conditional statements. If P is happen, if the hypothesis is happen, the conclusion will happen. As we said yesterday. Okay? Like this example here. If today is Wednesday, then yesterday was Tuesday. Okay? This is what conditional statements. This is P and this is Q. If P is happen, then Q will happen. This is the conditional statement as we talked before. Now, let's go to talk about the converse. What do I mean by the converse? Converse means like, if this is P, this is Q. If P is happen, Q will happen. Converse, you will change the order. If a Q is happen, P will happen. It's still correct, yeah. It's okay? From its mean, converse. So what do you have to do? You exchange the order of them. You will put the hypothesis at the last and the conclusion at the beginning. Like here, this is the conditional statement. If today is Wednesday, then yesterday was Tuesday. How I will change it? After F, we have P. After then, we have a Q. What do we have? You have to change the order. So if yesterday was Tuesday, then today is Wednesday. Yes, it comes like now. This is the hypothesis, and this will be the conclusion. So the converse is found by rearranging or exchanging the hypothesis and the conclusion.
But teacher, now if they give us a question, how is it?
The question, it comes like here. Later on, I will give you more examples. Like here, if 2 plus 3 is 13, when t is 5, this is conditional. I will ask you to write the converse, the inverse, and the constructive. The converse, what do you have to do? You have to exchange the orders. Yes. Yes. Yeah, this is what the meaning by converse. Converse, that means you exchange the order. Now inverse. What do you mean by inverse? Word end. Just a minute. If you see like word end in English, what does it mean? Not. Bravo. Inverse, like finite, infinite. And it means not. So what do you have to do? You negate the hypothesis and the conclusion. That's mean if not this happen, this thing will not happen. As an example, if I am hungry, I will eat. The inverse, how it will be, if I am not hungry, I will not eat. If I didn't study well math, I will not get a high mark. It's okay? So this is what inverse.
So teacher, you just put the same words but in like another definition, but like to change the words, like put
yeah.
notes.
In the converse, you will change the order. In inverse, you keep the conditional statements as it is, and you just add not word. By. So what do you have to do? Just make the sentence negative. Like, if today is Wednesday, then yesterday was Tuesday. This is the conditional. The inverse, like, if today is not Wednesday, then yesterday was not Tuesday. So what do you have to do? You just write the negative of the hypothesis and the negative of the conclusion. Is it clear? I will give you another example. Like, see a word. Yeah, I will. Like if you have, if you study science, okay, you will get a high mark. It's okay. This is what conditional statements. You have if and then. Inverse, what do you mean by it? You will make the first part if you study. Okay, if you study science, you will get high mark. What is the things that you make them inverse? Make them inverse mean you will write the first part negative and you will write the second part negative. Like, okay, like if you, let's see, if you study, what is the opposite of it? You didn't study. You get high mark. What's the opposite of it? You didn't get high mark. You will combine them together. If I didn't study, I will not get high mark. If I eat a lot, I will gain weight, and so on. Okay, this is what we call it inverse. You will make both of the conclusion and the hypothesis negative. Got it? Okay. Just a minute. So here in symbols, how it will be? If P, then Q, this is conditional. Converse, if Q, then P. Girls, don't write the slides. After each period, I will put it on for you, upload it on Coursera. Okay? Now, converse, if Q happened, then B will happen. We change the order. Inverse, if not P happen, then not Q will happen. In statistics, on logic or logic, sorry, later on university they write this sign. This sign means not. Not P will mean not Q. No. It's something like this. Let's have this example here. If you bought it from us, okay, then you bought the best. Now, which one will be the converse? Wait, converse, not inverse. Inverse, it means negative. It's okay. Yeah. Which one?
Teacher, can I answer?
First of all, we have to say this is B and this is the Q. Okay? After F is P, after then is the Q. So, Layal, which one will be the converse? What do I mean by converse? The order. Bravo. So, how it will be? Which one? Bravo. That's you bought it from us. If you bring something is the best, that means you bring it from our market. So, this will be the converse. Got it now? Stop. Which will be the inverse? Yes.
Inverse means
Ayo. If it's without reading from here. If you we don't read. Didn't buy. You didn't buy the best. Bravo. This is for the hello. What is the contrapositive? What do you have to do? Look at me. First of all, this we said this is P and this is Q. So you have to do 2 steps now. Change the order and write the negative. Both of them. I will repeat. The converse, what do you have to do? The converse. Change the order. This is P, this is Q. Change the order is what? Converse. If I have P and the Q and I write the negative of them, inverse. And if I change the order and I write the negative, in contrapositive. From its end. That's not science. Who said science? Ah, okay. So I will give you some examples, geometry. So contrapositive, it's a statement formed by both exchanging and negating the hypothesis and the conclusion. Okay. So if today is Wednesday, then yesterday was Tuesday. So what do you have to do first? You will change them. Like yesterday was Tuesday, today is Wednesday. Then you will write the negative. If yesterday was not Tuesday, bravo. This is not Tuesday. Who have the workbook? Give me, but just I want to give you some or one question will be cancelled. Before I forget. Hello, number one, I want you to solve B only. Number one, as a reference, I will tell you. Number one, you have A, B, C. Solve B only.
Teacher, look what I solved. I did not solve the one that has converse and only the one that
Solve 2, 3, 4, 5 as it is. 1 B only. 4, 5, 1 B. 1 B only. Yeah. Now this is number 2 in your book. If write the conditional statements, the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive. If 2t plus 3 is 13, when t is 5, 3, what is the conditional statement will be? Bravo. Bravo. It will be equals 30. Fine. Amwaj, write the converse of it. Converse, change the order. Serene said this is P and this is Q. Yes, this is P and this is the Q. Yeah, so how it will be? If 2 plus T, it's 2T plus 3 is 13, then this is P and this is the Q. Serene said if T is 5, then 2T plus 3 is 13.
Teacher, can I answer 11 or 12? I am Maria.
Just Maria. Yeah, okay, I will let just a minute. Yes, Maria. Tell us about the inverse. How the inverse will be?
About number 10, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. 2t plus 3 equals 13 when t equals 5. Okay. If t equals 5, then if t didn't equal 5, then 2t plus 3 equals 13 is not correct.
Yeah, I said saying 2t plus 3 didn't not equal to 30. Yes, thank you. Now, yes, yeah, the last one, contrapositive. What do you have to do?
If 2t plus 3 is not equal to 15, then 3 is not equal to
Bravo, thank you. So this is the answers here. The statements is if t is 5, then 2t plus 3 is 30. No, I switched them. If t is 5, okay, converse, you change the order. If 2 plus 3 is 13, that means t is 5. Stop just a minute. Yes, I have this one.
Teacher.
Yes.
I still didn't get why do we use contrapositive?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Sometimes there is an cases of the conditional statements. Later on, not in this grade here, they will say that if the contrapositive is correct or no. So you have to study all the cases. If the cases are correct, you will say that the converse is correct. But sometimes the converse is not correct. So you will say that I can write the statement, I can write the converse, but the inverse as an example is not correct.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
I want you just to know how to write them.
Okay, teacher.
Later on, if you study computer engineering, there's something like, say, it's called logic. Okay? This is like an example of it. Keep it for university.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Yeah. Right. Now here. Oh, it's okay. Yes.
How do you solve 6 divided by 6 divided by 2 infinity is 1? No, I asked. How do you solve? I asked. If we solve it in the other way, it will be 1. If we solve it in the other way, it will be 1.
It's 9. 9, 9.
It's 9. We will add these.
1 plus 2, it's 3.
Yeah.
Then 6 divided by 2 times 3. First, yes.
Yeah.
3 times 3. Yes.
But
Is
if
the correct?
we distribute
No.
these,
It's not distributed. It's correct. I told you. Okay, first you have to divide, then you have to distribute. Yani first, here, if you want to distribute, you will say 6 times 2 divided by 2 is 3, then 1 plus 2. First, you have to divide first. Yeah, now here, let's go back to this example. We solved the inverse, we solved the converse. Now, Ramin, the contrapositive. If you didn't buy the best, yes, bravo. Buy from us. So this is the orders: 3, 1, then 2. Okay. Yeah. Now the biconditional statements. والله يعني نبدأ من وضع فضيح. 15 minutes. Okay, the biconditional statements. What do I mean by the biconditional? Biconditional, like you know that in English, cycle, it's mean one wheel. Bicycle, and it's mean bicycle, and 2 cycles. So bi, it's mean 2 in Latin. Here, biconditional statement, that means there's a conditional statement. If I change its order, it's still correct.
يعني the conditional statement of the
Converse. So, conditional statement, that means if you write a conditional, and if you write it converse, that means you change the order, and the converse is still correct, these combine them together, we call them biconditional statements. And how do you know them? They told you that in geometry, the definitions, and when you want to write the definitions, you write the biconditional. How the biconditional is different than the conditional? Biconditional, in the conditional, you will say, if something happens, then something will happen. In biconditional, you will use a word which is if and only if. What is it?
if and after.
Are you? Okay. Here. This word, if and only if, this is in biconditional. Just if P is happen, then the Q will happen. This is conditional. In biconditional, if P, I can say B is happen, if and only if Q is happen. Like this one, they told you that this one used only in definitions. What do I mean by definitions? Like, did you say, remember that when you say the supplementary angles are two angles that their summation is 180. This is the definition. How you will say? You will say the supplementary angles are if and only if their summation is 180. You just take the definition in the middle, put if and only. That's it only. Okay? Let's see this example here. If and only if. But let's add this one here. As an example, look at this one here. Midpoint of a line. What is the midpoint? Is the point is the point that divides the segment into two segments, two congruent segments. This is the definition. Is it right? Midpoint is a point that cuts it into two equal parts. How you write the biconditional statement? What you will do? You will say a point, or the midpoint of a line, if and only if the points divide the segments. Just put here.
Teacher, I didn't understand. Teacher, I didn't.
But it's okay, I will repeat. Just a minute. If and only if, يعني if this happened and then only if this happened. If I only. Yes, I understand. I told you biconditional, that's mean if you write the statements and if you change its order, it's still the same.
Teacher, I didn't get the thing
I will give you
the biconditional.
Just 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, one by one. Yes, continue. Yes, what is this?
The conditional statement is if and then. We can switch it or make it correct in a Converse or Inductive. But this one, if and only if, we cannot change it. It's only if this.
If it's in the conditional and it's a converse, they are combined. I told you here that it is conditional statements are and it's converse. If they are both true, you can combine them. When it's come, I will not ask you, this is the conditional, this is biconditional or not. If you read a sentence and you found that this is a definition, that means this will be biconditional. Like as an example, give me any definition in science. What is the mitochondria? So you can say if the energy is the mitochondria is an energy if and only if the power has as you say. It's like something. You have the definition as an example. Okay. Yeah, that'll be another definition. Not science, not science. Something another thing.
If you have an atom, then you have.
No, not science. Eh?
Invertebrates don't have that. If you have an
No, don't put if at the beginning.
invertebrates.
Invertebrate is an animal if and only if they didn't have a backbone. So, what does it mean? Here you have, see, here you have definition. Midpoint, just a minute. Definition, sorry, midpoint of a line segment, dash, 2 points, I mean, the point that divides a segment into two congruent segments. This is a definition. You have 2 points above each other. What do you have to do? You will say a midpoint of a line segment, or a segment of a midpoint. But instead of writing these 2 points, write if and only if. We continue. The points divides the segments into two congruent segments. Got it now? Like, but just a minute, a second.
Teacher, if and only if is not a thing.
See, just a minute. But printer, what is the printer? It's a machine. It's a machine that's used to print papers. This is the definition of the printer. Is it right? How you write it in math? You will say, if the machine is a printer, oh sorry, if the machine is a printer, if and only if you print paper. Get it? Listen. Sorry? طب see, just a minute. Tell me. Give me a definition of the AC. لا tell me. Give me the definition of AC. Okay, so
It's a AC if and only if it يعني ما look out air.
يعني what's the meaning of and only if؟ يعني إذا هي بس صارت.
يعني لما
Teacher, like you mean if this person or if only this
No. Just put a definition, and in the middle put if and only if.
Teacher.
يعني أنا No. See, like as an example, grade 7 is a grade that is at take algebra and geometry with grade 7 is a grade. Grade 7, just a bit. Grade 7 is a grade that they taught algebra and geometry at this school. At Hollis, okay? What you will say? Grade 7 is a grade if and only if they take geometry and algebra at Hollis with Mrs.Dima.
Teacher, I still didn't get the biconditional statement.
طب have a get. Sit back, go back. طب grade 7. Just let me stop this one. Yes, exactly. Like this one here. Scalene, do you know what the scalene triangle? It is a triangle with 3 sides and 3 angles. Just a minute. Okay, so what is this? This is a definition of the scalene triangle. Okay, how it will be? Now try to use your mind in English. Try to read in English. Or if a triangle is scalene. Yes, somehow like this.
Teacher, one time you use F and then the other time you don't use F. So when do I know if I use it or not?
Only if you are talking about definitions. I will not ask you, so just like the question, write the definition as biconditional. Biconditional, it means if and only if. So if I ask you, write it as a biconditional, use if and only if. So don't say like, if Tuesday is Thursday, or then if and only if Monday. No, there's not a definition. It should be a definition. So how it will be, as you say, if a triangle, is scalene triangle, if and only if it has 3 sides with the same length. Exactly. The second one. Yeah. The second one, just a minute. Yes. A square is a rectangle with 4 sides that are the same length. How you write it? Just a minute. and. Bravo. That's it. Got it now?
Teacher, can you give us one more example so I just can get it in my mind?
More example. Just a minute. Just a minute. Please finish.
And teacher, I wanna answer it. If it's correct, tell me. If it's not
Do you
correct,
know what is the meaning of perpendicular sides? طب see, this is. طب see, Maria, I want you to solve number 15. Okay, open your book and solve number 15. يلا حلوين كمان.
okay, teacher, wait.
Is it great? That's it. Is it great? That's talk مثلا geometry with Mrs.Dima. What's the definition? As an example. So what? If and only if talk geometry with Mrs.Dima. يعني it's in the middle. Look at this one here. In the middle, you write if and only if.
Yes, teacher. Okay.
Your geometry with Mrs.Dima.
Perpendicular lines are lines that intersect.
Just wait, Maria. There, stop talking. Yes. يلا how to be.
Perpendicular lines are
See, the lines are perpendicular.
if and only if they intersect at lines.
Yes, that's it. Got it now? Yes, yeah, Maria. Maria?
Yes, teacher.
Yalla, how it will be?
The perpendicular lines are lines.
The lines are perpendicular.
The lines are perpendicular. What did you say here? If and only if it has, if it was with two sides with the same length.
With the no, sorry. You go to the up. You combine the 14 and 15.
Sorry.
The lines are perpendicular if and only if.
Lines are perpendicular if and only it is that intersect at 90%.
Exactly. Got it now?
Yes, teacher. Now I got it.
Now here, just make a statement. Put triangle at the beginning. Be confused. It's something that makes sense in English. Got it now? Is there anyone who didn't understand?
A line is perpendicular if and only.
Like teacher.
So give me this example. So come to solve this example. Solve this one. Perpendicular lines are lines that intersect at 90 degree angle. Yalla, how it will be? Perpendicular. Oh, the lines are perpendicular.
The lines are
Perpendicular. Okay.
Then that includes.
No. Where we have to put if and only if?
The line are.
See, perpendicular lines are lines that intersect at 90 degrees. That's mean here you have 2 points. That is the definition. So instead of writing these 2 points, write if and only if. So how it will be? The lines are perpendicular. Okay.
If and only if are the lines that
intersect at 90. That's it. Yes. Got it now?
Can I go with them, teacher? A square is a rectangle with 4 sides that are the same length. So a square is a rectangle if and only if with 4
Bravo.
sides.
Yes. Do you have any question? So, thank you. Now I have a math. PE is after this period, right?
This is one of my favorites.